is Your Energy Podcast. My name is Linda Lange. I am your host and energy expert. Maybe you already know about the power of the present moment. And maybe you already use the power it gives you when you are more in the present moment. Maybe you even have a solid practice to leverage the present moment for your life. If that is the case, you might not need to listen to this episode. And if not, you want to listen to this episode and start leveraging the present moment for yourself and your life. Stay tuned. In the present moment, anything and everything is possible. Being in the present moment means that all possibilities are open to you. You probably heard this before, that we should be living more in the present moment. But do you really understand what that means? Why you should be living more in the present moment, and how can you actually do it in your life? This is what we're going to figure out in today's episode. I will take you on the present moment journey. Let's start with an explanation of what the present moment actually is. We are living in the present moment if we are in the here and the now. When we are fully present with our awareness and our senses, that's when we are in the present moment. When we are completely awake and aware of what is happening around us in this physical world, then we are in the present moment. Me talking to you and you currently listening to my voice means you are in the present moment. What you're currently doing while you're listening to this episode is happening in the present moment. All the information you are taking in with the senses that you have, these are happening in the present moment. When you are fully aware and focused on the here and now, you are in the present moment. Try it out for the next minute together with me. Become fully aware of your body, your environment, all the information you're currently taking in through your senses, maybe even the breath, how you're breathing in and out. Try to be fully present with it for the next few seconds while I go silent. Okay, you just experienced being in the present moment. You might have realized it, maybe you have not, but the first reason why you spend more time in the present moment is that your mind is resting. You might have realized that when you are fully present, you are not thinking. When you step into the present moment, you can find that calmness of your mind. You can find quietness. I describe it as kind of pure being. So when you step into the present moment and you are just in the present moment, you can find joy in just this being, just existing. When I become present, I enjoy the silence of my mind. I enjoy just being present and the calmness that comes with it. In the present moment, I don't need to solve any problems. I don't have any worries. I can feel free of any needs in the present moment. I don't wish for anything when I am in the present moment because my mind is just not active. The mind that we use to think, to ponder on something, to worry, does not exist in the present moment. It cannot. As soon as you start thinking, you are not anymore in the present moment. You can try it out for yourself. Be present and stay present as much as you can. As soon as you catch yourself having a thought, you will realize that you have lost the connection to the present moment. Your focus went back to your mind and to the thought that you're having. So give it a go, and you will very quickly realize the difference between being present and not being present anymore. I love the peace and the harmony that I can experience from just being in the present moment and quietening my mind. It's actually what you practice during a meditation, but you can apply this to your life outside of your meditation by just stepping into the present moment, just by being in the present moment. Our mind takes a lot of energy from us. Our mind is constantly chatting along, thinking about past, thinking about the future. Our mind actually creates our past based on the memories that we have, things that we remember. And our mind creates as well the future by visualizing it, by planning for what needs to happen next week, and by worrying if it all will be okay. But our past and our future don't actually really exist. The only time that truly exists is in the here and now, in that present moment. It is the point of pure existence between the past and the future. When we step into the present moment and stop thinking about what happened yesterday and what we have to do in the next hour, we can give our body and our mind a rest. You step into that precious present moment, which is the only time that truly exists. Think about it. Is it ever not now? Is it ever not the present moment? When you think about the past, you are thinking about the past in the now. You cannot travel back in time and live again that past. You can just remember it. You can think about it in your mind, because the past is really gone. The past event happened when it was the present moment. But as soon as it was over, that past stopped existing. It either turns into a memory for someone, for you, or it just evaporates into nothing. The past exists only in our memories, in journals, in books, or as a snapshot in pictures or in videos. But the past truly does not exist. And the same actually applies to the future. The future only exists in our minds. We can only imagine what happens in the future. We can only dream of how the holiday next month is going to be, but we do not know for sure how exactly turn out to be. We can plan what we want to do in the evening, but we don't know yet how it's actually going to happen and what is going to happen. The present moment is now and not in the future. The future will just happen when it becomes the present moment, when it becomes the now. So to summarize, the past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist. There is only the present moment, the here and the now. Do you feel something when I say that? Every time I remember that there is no past and there is no future, there is truly really just that present moment, and the past and the future that we think about, we just create it in our mind, I feel lighter. I feel like weight comes off of my shoulders, I feel more free, and I can breathe better. Stepping into the present moment is a perfect antidote for rumination and worrying. If I catch myself doing one of those, I step into the present moment, and with that I can stop these thoughts from happening. That is where I can hit the brakes on my chatty mind, so to say, where I can focus on my breath and to calm my mind, and where I can realize what is actually true and what I just created just in my mind. When I step into the present moment, I remember to bring up uplifting emotions in my life. And I do that, of course, by creating them in my heart. I will, for example, sit at my desk. I will look out of the window and I remember, let's bring up an elevated emotion, something like joy, love, happiness. And I will start bringing it up in my heart, and then I will just let it grow and get bigger and bigger. So it floods my whole body with these nice feelings, and I just radiate it out. All of that I cannot do when I'm not in the present moment. I cannot do it when I'm stuck in my mind, stuck in the past, or stuck in the future. I can just do that when I'm in the present moment, when I'm present with myself. That's why the present moment is just so precious to me. The same that you're resting your mind when you're in the present moment. You can actually do the same for your body. All of that thinking that we are doing all day long creates chemicals and hormones inside of our body through the emotions that go along with the thoughts that we're having. And if the thinking is predominantly positive and the emotions that go along with it are nice, good thoughts and feelings, then that's perfect. But our mind is generally more biased towards thinking about risks, problems, challenges, and worrying about the future, right? And these kind of thoughts go along with chemical reactions inside of our body that create stress. It creates pressure that we're putting on ourselves. It creates never-ending worries, and emotions that go along with it are anger, frustration, shame, guilt, and so many more. When you step out of all of that and you become aware of the present moment, you stop all of that happening inside of your body. You stop the creation of these harmful chemical reactions and hormones being created in your body. Your nervous system gets a rest, and it can actually restore again. It can balance itself out while you are resting in the present moment. Our body can just take a break when it is not flooded by these chemicals and hormones of stress. I hope that makes sense to you. I feel that connecting more with the present moment makes me much more happier. It brings joy to me, and it makes me feel more content with what I have and what is happening around me. And I have much lesser needs. When I'm in the present moment, I appreciate more what is around me, particularly nature, animals, just the beauty of everything that is around me. I love to sit outside on my little balcony and just look at nature, observing birds flying around, butterflies, and enjoy the sun and the wind on my skin. A few years ago, I would have never been able to do that, to switch off my mind and enjoy the things as much as I do now. Spending more time in the present moment means you need less of a thrill. You don't need that dopamine hit that you can get from buying things or gaming or being on social media. You're more in a natural state, a natural flow of being that we are actually supposed to be in more. It's how animals are living. They are living in the moment, from one moment to another, and we are supposed to be doing the same. If I convinced you now to spend more time in the present moment and you want to give it a go, you can do that by starting very small. You can set yourself reminders, maybe in your calendar, on your phone, to step more into the present moment. You can maybe put post-its around your house, and every time you see one of these post-its, you stop and you get into the present moment and you stay as long as you can get. It's really helpful if you link that stepping into the present moment practice as well to things you're already doing in your daily life. For example, you could decide to be always completely present when you're brushing your teeth. Or every time you make yourself a drink, a coffee or a tea, you can decide that once you're done, you become present. And for 1 minute or even longer, you just completely stay fully present. So every time you go and you turn on the coffee machine, it reminds you of stepping into that present moment. I love to remind myself to step into the present moment when I'm on walks with my dog. I either focus on my body, on how it is moving. I might focus on taking some deep breath, or I will just focus on the nature all around me. And it gives me so much energy, and it's amazing what you can see and discover when you're actually in the present moment, in nature, and not busy thinking about something else. Something you always have with you, and you can actually not forget it at home, is your breath. It's a great tool to move into the present moment by focusing on your breathing. You can just observe it. Just see how you're breathing. You can adjust your breathing if you catch yourself breathing very shallowly, very flat, or just in your chest. You can take a few deep breaths that go more into your belly. Or you just observe your breath of how it currently is. Don't judge it. Just be with it as long as you can. And of course, the ultimate practice of being in the present moment is meditation. In the meditative state, we focus on being fully present and quieten therefore as well our mind. I started the episode with the sentence, in the present moment, anything and everything is possible. Being in the present moment means that all possibilities are open to you. When you spend time in the present moment, either in your meditation or in your waking hours, you open yourself up to more possibilities. You kind of open up your mind to see more possibilities all around you. You are connecting to more, to that energy field that is all around us, to the quantum field where all possibilities exist. And this is gold for your manifestation efforts. This is where you can create a new version of yourself. This is where you can create a new future for yourself. This is where you can create a new version of yourself. Think about it. If you go through your whole day without ever really being fully present and you're just running on autopilot, it means you are just thinking the same thoughts. You are just thinking the same thoughts that you had already yesterday, which is in the past. And by thinking the same thoughts that you had the day before and doing the same things that you did the day before, you are literally living in your past now. You're not waking up out of that state. And you're just gonna keep going like you did already in your past, in the day before, and then the day before, and in the day before. You're just reliving your past in the now because you're missing the opportunity to step out of it and do something differently. And by keep staying in that autopilot and just keep having the same thoughts, doing the same things, keeping the same behaviors that you had yesterday and in your past, you are even creating your future out of your past. and nothing will ever change. So for you to want something else, for you to change something in your life, you want to step into the present moment where you're not thinking about your past and your future. Being in the present moment means you can create something new. You can reinvent yourself and step onto a new path. That's how important the present moment truly is. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed today's journey into the present moment. I hope you understand now how important it is to live more in the present moment. And I hope you remember in an hour, in a day, to step into the present moment and stop thinking about your past and your predictable future, and stop the autopilot from running. Thank you so much again. And with that, I love you and leave you. Talk soon and bye-bye.